Day 22. We currently just crossed over the bridge that separates the gap to get into Erwin, Tennessee, where we spent the night last night. It was a really good night, nice and refreshed. Our feet are still a little bit sore. Thankfully, we're not putting in another 26 miler today, but it is all uphill, and we will be putting in about 18 miles. Thankfully, the weather's pretty beautiful now. There's rumors of thunderstorms this late afternoon, so I'm going to try to get there in due time and hope it holds off. Tomorrow we got Rhone Mountain, so it's going to be an uphill all the way to get to the base of that. It's midday now. Done about half or a little more than half of our miles. Just climbed out of a gap where we experienced some trail magic. Brother Tom had posted up with a truck full of goodies for thru hikers. Learned that only a few other people had come through so far today. We're still pressing on, feeling really good after that. Only about 8 miles, maybe a little less left on the day. So we get to the shelter, we're going to kick our feet up and enjoy what's left of this beautiful weather before some supposed thunderstorms are coming in. I don't know. Weather's looking pretty beautiful though, so let's hope that those miss us. Check in with you in a bit. Just a few moments later, well, not quite sure of time out here to be honest, but probably 30 minutes later from the last time I updated you, we found ourselves onto this beautiful grassy bald with unparalleled views to all angles. Pretty impressive. End of day 22, and it is not quite as chilly as my attire makes it seem, but you kind of get ready for the preparation every single night because you know that the temperature is going to drop rapidly as soon as the sun tucks away behind the mountains. This is called Cherry Gap Shelter, and you can see everybody in the background hanging out. For a period of time we thought that we were going to be the only ones at the shelter, but everybody rolled in a little late today. All the thru hikers are really getting into their routines, and we're all rolling in around 6 or 7 p.m. rather than 4 or 5 like we did when we started. So yeah, tomorrow we have Rhone Mountain on the forecast, and the shelter at the end of the day should be pretty dang cool. It's a converted barn, so I'm really excited about that. And also Rhone Mountain is just going to have some fantastic views. So yeah, nothing much else to report. Today was a success. My feet are a little bit sore, but you know, nothing that should stop me tomorrow. Been rolling barefoot for the last few minutes to accommodate some healing. So okay, I'll see you in the morning. Day 23, and it is really cold. It's gotten better since we started walking, but this morning when we woke up it was really hard to climb out of our sleeping bags, I would say. So today we're hitting Rhone Mountain, one of the highest mountains we'll see until Maine. That should be pretty cool. It is supposed to be sunny, so hopefully there'll be some views. Hopefully it's not 30 degrees colder up there. But tonight we're staying in a shelter that was retrofitted from a old barn. Pretty excited about that too. Stand a chance of being a little warmer in that. And then past that point we're pushing into Hampton. Try to get up our feet for a day or two to avoid some freezing cold weather, as well as sleet and snow and just dangerous conditions in general. So should be rolling in there later Thursday, so see you then. You may be able to see to my right through the trees Rhone Mountain, drifting ever closer to that. Here's the first person what we're walking on right now. It's been a calorie-fueled day today. So the temperature hasn't gotten above 50 degrees yet. The sun is the only saving grace right at the moment, and the lack of wind, which has been nice. But in general, I think scuba's already flown through about 2,200 calories, and it's before noon still. Yeah, cold weather, strenuous climbs. For the sake of our food bags, we hope that tomorrow's a little bit easier. So here we are, about a little less than a mile up the climb to the peak of Rhone Mountain. Looks like it's going to be about 5 miles to climb 1,500 feet, which all in all, to be honest, is not a very difficult climb considering what we've been doing. But Rhone Mountain has proven to be quite beautiful already, and pretty excited to be at the highest peak we'll see for probably another 1,000 miles. So I'll check in with you at the top. Here's a point of view shot. Several miles later, still climbing Rhone Mountain, and it has been a pretty rough climb. The inclination hasn't been that bad. It's really just been that there's been a lot of obstacles in the way, and the rocks have been rather large. But I guess that can be expected of an anomaly of a 6,000 foot plus mountain when the rest around are somewhere in the 4,000s range. So yeah, and what you see falling from the trees, that is in fact ice. It's not snow, it's a beautiful sunny day, but that is ice that formed from the last night, which was, man, up here probably into the teens, if not single digits. So check with you at the top. Top of Rhone Mountain, which is in North Carolina. Just learned that. Previously I thought it was in Tennessee. I have no idea what state we're in ever. At least in this North Carolina border shuffle area. But it's been a wonderful climb up to this point, and looks like we're the only ones who happen to be up here today. Everybody thought it was too cold. Well, go us. Yeah, about 6,384 feet, I want to say, is the tallest point, and it has been really beautiful today. It's cold, but absolutely beautiful, so can't complain too much about any of that. Well, I'll check in with you as we scale down the mountain. There should be some pretty beautiful views as we do so. Another look. We've gotten higher up on the bald, and wow, what a beautiful sight. Another look at what North Carolina, Tennessee has to offer. Don't hike the AT, they said. There'll be no views, they said. Another point of view shot of how things change so rapidly on the trail. Now on top of a grassy bald, and it's gotten quite a bit rockier up here, which has really lent to a different variety of vegetation and a different environment entirely. It's been rather cool. Not digging the big rocks, but they're what created this beautiful space, so we appreciate them nonetheless. Guys are here. Day 24, I believe. And last night was brutal. Temperatures got down into the high teens, and it is still pretty brutal right now. Damn, look at this view. Can't complain too much about that, at least. But we are doing our best to try to not catch hypothermia, because it is still freezing and windy as all get out up here. So hopefully you can hear anything I'm saying, but that's what's ahead of us. Pretty beautiful. Let's hope this wind dies down at some point. I'll check in with you later. Day 24 still. Wind has finally died down a little bit. Presented with this. Yeah, these are the kind of views that keep you going. Thankfully we don't have a 25-mile-an-hour wind at our side. Wind's still there a little bit, but not quite as bad as I almost slipped. There's ice up here, as you probably assumed. Okay, well, I'm going to use my trekking poles. I will give you an update once we get to the top of that. You probably can't hear me, but we're on top of a bald. That's where camp gets to. Wind's blowing about 50 miles an hour, and it's probably around 35 degrees. Yeah, it's been a fun climb. Come do the AT, they said. It'll be warm, they said. It's not. Gadget reporting back in, and we just crossed one of, if not the most difficult, but certainly one of the most interesting parts of the AT we've gotten to thus far. Got on top of this bald, and the winds, well, Scoop is kind of the authority on this because he's gone through many hurricanes before. The winds had to have been hurricane velocity, blowing us to the side. At one point I just kind of stood and leaned and was being supported by the wind. That was something I certainly didn't expect on this whole trip, but it was a thing nonetheless. And wow, kind of cool to experience, I guess. Oh, I'm stuck. Alright, well, camera's going off while I get unstuck. So ever since we passed the final state line border between North Carolina and Tennessee, now it's just Tennessee all the way to Virginia, the trail has changed quite a bit. Right now we're walking on what looks to be a ATV service road of some sort. Can't say it's not welcome, to be honest. It's we were looking for a pretty easy day today, especially since we burned a ton of calories in that wind earlier. But it looks like we got a pretty nice grassy bulb we're coming up on, so I'll save that surprise for then. Promised you a look once we got on top, so here you go. Pretty beautiful. See some ski resorts. Signs over there on top of the mountain where the trees are cut away. Pretty neat. Gadget here. Check out Jones Falls behind me. Absolutely beautiful. It's probably, I don't know if you can tell by the camera, but probably 100 feet above us, 120 feet, really high. Cascading down. 0.1 miles off the trail. So you see Jones Falls on your section hike, definitely make the trip. Ending day 24, and it is myself, Gadget, Disco, and Scuba, and we are in Van Gogh Memorial Hostel, and we are watching Wayne's World on television. So this is possibly the best end of the best evening that could have ever happened on the Appalachian Trail. So, party on, dudes. See you tomorrow.